Hello, everyone, and welcome to this talk. So we're going to think about pentatonics here, and just some maybe kind of different angles on it than you may have heard. But I've talked about these kinds of things before, but we're going to apply them to some of the new tunes that we're working on here. And so probably start out doing a little playing. So I'm going to do a little playing on Lady Bird, and this is a tune I'd like to feature this month. I think we're going to try four tunes. Hopefully not too many, but we'll try to get in depth as we can with each one of these. So let's start out here by playing improvising on Lady Bird, and trying to work a little bit on my levels. Seemed like the guitar was a little quiet yesterday. I'm going to try to keep an eye on that, so hopefully I didn't turn things up too much. All right. Okay, great. So maybe we'll dive right into this tune and think about this one. And we'll talk about some pentatonics that we could possibly make use of. All right. So we'll start with real basic kinds of things, and then I want to expand into playing based on ninth chords and things like that. But major pentatonic. Okay. So, as guitarists, we've got to play that in quite a few different positions. So we want to kind of go over different spots of playing kind of the same thing. So that's the C major pentatonic. And you could, apply that to a major 7 chord, even though it doesn't include the major 7. All right. Now, so some of the other chords in the tune, we have F minor and B flat 7. So what could we do there? So maybe a minor pentatonic for the F minor. And then we could maybe choose a dominant pentatonic. So if you haven't heard about me talking about this before, it's a lot like major pentatonic. But instead of this note, we're going to play this note. So 1/2 step higher from that 6. And that helps to outline the dominant pentatonic. Now here's a little kind of maybe insight from between those last two pentatonics I just mentioned. If you play this scale, it's almost the same as the one we just played. So you can lower the flat 7 of that scale to the 6 of that scale, and then you'll outline the changes. Okay, so, and that's very helpful for any 2/5 progression, or at least 2/5 progressions that are not altered. So just kind of survey more of the tune. So going back to C major. Okay. So again, not the only option, but C major pentatonic will fit it really well. And something that we're going to talk a little bit later about is trying to play maybe something more like that. So kind of the same thing, but we have the 9 and the major 7. So it's a 7 instead of the 6. All right, going back to tune, we go to B flat minor, so you might choose that B flat minor pentatonic. And then here, same concept as before. Maybe E flat dominant pentatonic. And these will form some of the more consonant sort of sounds that you'll make. Okay. And then we have the A flat major 7, so maybe we'll play A flat major pentatonic. And then we get the A minor pentatonic, D dominant pentatonic, go to D minor. Okay, so maybe that D minor pentatonic and G dominant pentatonic, G7. Okay, and then we have this kind of cool turnaround. So C major, let's say E flat dominant pentatonic. Then there's some variations to these, but A flat, and then maybe G pentatonic, or D flat. So then you might play a dominant pentatonic. So there are a couple of ideas for pentatonic scales that are really worth exploring, and those are really helpful for getting inside of the changes. So really we just have two groups there. So I'll play over the same tune, and I'll go a little slower, and play some of these pentatonics over the changes here. So there's just kind of a short example of what it's gonna sound like, playing on that and with those pentatonic type scales. And what's kind of cool about pentatonics, I think, is that you get a little bit of a framework, and then you can build some chromatic lines in between. There's sort of an openness. There's certain openness to the sound, and then when you apply it in this way, it kind of fits the chord changes nicely, in sort of in a way that's not it's a word. It's not particularly dissonant or anything. So it's kind of another approach, something else to kind of have in the toolbox. All right. Now, similar to what we've done with say, melodic structures, and I guess you could apply this to almost anything really, but we could take some of these scales and play them, on different parts of the chord. So let's say we have a C major 7. Sustaining. Okay, so what if we play from a G, like a G major pentatonic, or not, G major pentatonic over a C major, right? So you could do that with just about any of these chords. So you could kind of go backwards through the circle of fifths doing this. So we're just kind of starting with the first, that first, say, movement, or that first step. So you're, instead of building on the root note, pentatonic scale, you're starting on the fifth of the chord. Okay. So let's say we want to start on the fifth of this one. How about we say, okay, so what does that do? So we have C minor pentatonic, and we're playing over the F minor chord. So instead of getting the third, we get a 9, and instead of and then we get, well, I guess that's the only thing. So it's pretty close. Okay. So you can start building and just explore it. You want it to be a little bit different, so you don't want to make it completely conform to that whatever chord it is. You want it to be a little different. That's kind of the point of it. Well, let's check out the dominant here. So dominant 7. So if we start something, let's say from here, let's make it, that's too similar. So that's going to give us, that's definitely going to give us a little dissonance. Okay, so that's the F minor pentatonic over that. So it's going to have a little dissonance between the third and the fourth. All right, so that's another kind of concept you might try to run with there and explore. So I'm gonna check the live stream. Questions. So I'm starting a little early today because I need to go out today, but. Let's start out with, so another tune I'm thinking we'll do, see if we take off with it, is Waters of March. So we'll play with that one a little bit here. Get this set up. Let's see. Kind of run through this. Do a little improv on it. And try to keep up the topic here with the pentatonic type scales. Let's play around with this a little bit here. I want to change our key. Just like that. Okay. Yeah, so been working with these backing tracks, kind of finding a lot of value in this. I've been working for quite a while and trying to get all this to work in a sort of a live way, and it's so nice to just play kind of spontaneously. Uh, and do this live, especially when we talk about improvisation. Since it feels like a very live, on the moment sort of activity. So. Okay, so we'll do more with this tune. I think as we go along, I think this is going to be um, a good one. I'm not totally settled on it, but there are some really, I think, good things we can do with rhythm and that kind of comping and stuff like that, as well as improvisation. And I know I wrote out, I think, some of the rhythms for that. So let me dive into that a little bit in another talk. All right. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about some of these other kind of concepts here. So we go right back to Ladybird. So if we play, so we talked about playing on the from the root note, right? We talked about maybe playing and going up the circle of fifths and moving up like that to get some more kind of color into it. Because so like I said at the beginning, it's a fairly neutral sound. It's an open sound, but you can keep that open sort of sound with the intervals and then make it more dissonant by placing it in different relationships with the root note or whatever the chord is. So let's talk a little bit about well, maybe I should mention too before moving on, a couple of things that are really helpful with these as well. So if you have which we don't have actually in this tune, But let's say we have a G minor 7 flat 5, because we're going to have that one in the All the Things You Are, which I may play next. If you have a scale like that, or chord like that, excuse me, you could also play pentatonic scale. So we can alter one of the scales that we already know. So we have minor pentatonic. We just lower that fifth tone. Okay, and that works really well. And again, of course, you want to learn that all over the neck. Okay. So I just want to mention that. And then similar to that with the let's say dominant pentatonic. Let's say you're playing C dominant pentatonic, but let's say you want a flat 9 sort of sound, just alter it. So change that dominant pentatonic so that you lower the second note. So I just want to mention that because that's something that did come up when I was playing on the Aguas de Marco, which I'm probably mispronouncing terribly, and I apologize. Waters of March. So let's get on to kind of what I was talking about a minute ago. So let's say we're back on the Ladybird tune. So we did say take C major pentatonic, but instead of playing this tone, play the 7. So right, and then you can kind of see what that does to the kind of the patterns, and it changes, of course, the sound of it. So okay, so it could kind of stretch your or one's knowledge of the pentatonics, and to just kind of try that on different things. Can also experiment with playing other, trading off other notes. So let's say instead of playing a natural 5, play a flat 5. That one still sounds pretty open. The other one has a half step in it. So. Right, and coming up with all different sort of patterns too. Maybe playing. All right, so trying all that. So that's playing the sharp 11 and the major 7, the 9. So a lot of different kind of cool things that we can do there. Make sure this is on silent. Okay, so let's go into maybe a little bit. So another tune I'm thinking we'll probably do here is Spain. So I'd like to feature maybe like a 70s kind of jazz tune. That period is just really, I think, pretty cool. They were doing. So you may call it fusion, or but taking some rock elements with the jazz elements. All right, so let's play a little bit on Spain. here. I haven't played this in a while. This one has got a pretty good following on YouTube channel, Melody Video. All right, so we'll play a little bit of soloing. Let's find a good tempo here. It's probably pretty quick. All right. Okay, so so a few concepts there. In many spots, I tried to make a couple of runs happen. Okay, and then make the change. Right, and then. Now, some of the major chords in particular, I tried playing this sound over the D major, which sounded kind of pretty out. So this is one of the challenges, I think, with trying to play a little outside is sometimes it can come across sounding a little contrived if it's not internalized. And then it also can sound like just something wrong. So those are some of the kind of challenges that I think to overcome in general, aside from just playing it. But right, so you get this sort of sound, and then maybe try to land it, or maybe try to go around the circle of fifths, and come back. It's not what I did, but And that kind of gets into some sort of overlap too, is that if you take four notes out of the pentatonic scale, it's a lot like that concept of the melodic structures that we've been talking about on the channel. So, so there are a couple of moments where I play the fifth over the G. So those are some things that are, kind of give us some, potential for, let's say, just kind of maybe playing outside or just playing really inside. So a lot of elements there. All right, so let's play a little bit on All the Things You Are. See, and then we'll wrap up here for today. Let's stick with sticks here. And trying to think about how many bars is All the Things You Are. It's like 36 or 40, something like that. All right, so I'm going to try to have a kind of a long, continuous drum thing happening. We'll see what happens. So, all right, we'll play a little bit on this one. And we'll try to listen for some of the pentatonics. Maybe I'll take it a little kind of medium, give us an opportunity to play and hear some of those pentatonic scale concepts. So thanks for listening, watching. If you are checking this out on the podcast, there is a video version that was streamed live on the YouTube channel. Remember area. So youtube.com/fretprints. And you can also visit fretprints.com to check out more there. thanks everybody for listening, checking out this podcast and this video. Hope everybody has a really great practice session. And I will see you all in the next one.